Public Prosecutor examines evidence against SOHE MP. Moves underway to reclaim illegally acquired land. And Markham identified as a major cocoa producing district.
This is National MTV News with Mary Bartulo.
Hello and welcome. This is Saturday's news. Thanks for joining us. Public Prosecutor Pondros Kalawin will peruse the file for SOHE MP and Community Development Minister Delilah Gore to independently determine whether there is sufficient evidence of misconduct in office. If there is sufficient evidence, the Chief Justice will be requested to appoint an appropriate leadership tribunal to inquire into the allegations against Minister Gore. The member was referred to the Public Prosecutor by the Ombudsman Commission after an incident on an Air Niugini flight in April last year.
According to the Public Prosecutor's Office, there's only one category for allegation in this referral. It relates to the leader allegedly using her mobile phone when the Air Niugini cabin crew made the routine announcements as required under the flight safety rules. Turn off all electronic devices, including mobile phones. It is further alleged the leader shouted at the cabin crew and said, "Take your seat, I will contact your boss to have you fired and you will lose your job. Do you know who I am?" The allegation of misconduct in office occurred on April 24, 2014, when the leader was on Air Niugini flight from Popondetta to Port Moresby. She was offloaded from that flight. Gore was referred to the Public Prosecutor for breaching leadership code on Wednesday this week by the government's watchdog Ombudsman Commission. It arises from her failure in upholding duties and responsibilities of office as required under Section 27 of the Constitution and the Organic Law on the duties and responsibilities of leadership.
Being a leader, you got to conduct yourself in a manner that will not provoke suspicion.
Air Niugini was asked for legal action on this case, but they didn't want to comment. However, the national airline maintains safety is a top priority and shall never compromise safety. Fabian Hakelitz, National MTV News.
Enga is now looking to become a more independent province, according to its governor, Peter Ipatas. Governor Ipatas says the province is now matured enough to be given more responsibilities to determine its future. He made these remarks when handing down the provincial budget this week.
We have matured as a province. We have the capacity.
In a recent media conference, Governor Peter Ipatas announced Enga is now ready to be given more responsibility as a self-dependent province in the country. With a population of over 400,000, it's only right Enga's future must be determined by the people.
As a people, we are a very big ethnic group. And we believe that we are the only people who know how to deal with our own people and, come up with a strategy for improving delivery of service to our people and, of course, generally to developing Enga province.
The governor described the call for decentralization of powers as a great responsibility. Without a free education policy, the province wouldn't have achieved its stance where it is today.
We need to be given the powers. We need to be given responsibilities to charter our future for our kids. If we didn't come up with education policy ourselves, we don't know where Enga would be today.
With the provincial budget of over 312 million kina, the province will implement 3 major high-impact projects with priorities still on health and education. Stanley Ove Jr., National MTV News.
All land in the Mosby South electorate illegally acquired or sold by private individuals and companies will be reclaimed. This move has been initiated by the member for Mosby South, Justin Chechenko. Koki Oval is the first to undergo this exercise.
This footage supplied by Goldring Media shows the Koki Oval in Mosby South electorate. It was an area of open sea, backfilled with gravel that catered for the construction of roads and other physical developments. According to Mr. Kichenko, the title and acquisition of Koki Oval were illegally attained. It was purchased by a foreign company at the cost of nearly 3 million kina from a family that owned a service station in that area.
For me, I get sick and tired of people stealing public place for our people, stealing the land for their own personal gain, not for any of you. I have nothing to fear, I have nothing to hide. And the most important thing is that this land belongs to you, the people of Wanigila, Koki and all the surrounding area. Not one foreigner that's coming here to steal the land and gain from it.
The Koki Oval, with much other land in the electorate, are public property and belong rightfully to the Mosby South people. For this reason, Kachenko is determined to acquire all these lands that will be converted into recreation areas for the people of Koki, Wanigela and surrounding areas.
We have many pieces of land throughout Mosby South, our electorate, that are being stolen by selfish individuals for their own personal gain. It's not good enough. A time of stealing this sort of land is over. As long as I'm your member, I will make sure we get all this land back for the people of Mosby South, starting with this one right here.
Discussions between authorities and lawyers have been held and legal processes are underway for this exercise to be carried out. Fabian Hakelitz, National MTV News.
You're watching National MTV News. Among stories after the break, Markham poised to be the leading cocoa producing district in PNG. Welcome back to the news. Markham district will become one of the major cocoa producing districts in Papua New Guinea in the next 5 to 10 years. The district now has a program in place to assist its local cocoa growers to venture into mass production and increased quality. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill, who officiated at the Markham cocoa launching, said the national government's focus is to improve the agriculture sector in the country. Sylvester Gawi has this report from Leh.
The Markham Valley is an area that has great potential of becoming the agriculture hub in Papua New Guinea. For cocoa itself, Markham contributes about 3,000 tons to PNG's export, and it generates about 800,000 kina in export revenue.
Cacao, any business belong you, all people belong blessed.
Its small to medium sector of cocoa growers have struggled over time. The cocoa port bora has affected the quality and quantity of cocoa beans.
Morobe is supposed to be producing almost 30,000 tons.
Under the new PNG cocoa program, more cocoa growers will be assisted to increase production in the district.
Agriculture now you become launching this cacao project, and one of the key important initiative. All government agencies will you make it happen.
Markham's cocoa improvement project is the same approach the cocoa board is taking to improve the cocoa industry in Papua New Guinea. In areas like the inland binding area in East New Britain, cocoa port bora tolerant seedlings are being distributed to farmers to maintain quality and increase production. Farmers are also trained to properly manage their cocoa nursery and trees.
For 40 years we've been saying Markham is the food bowl of our country and for Asia. Talk tasso. It's time we put our talk into action.
The Prime Minister also challenged the people to work together with the government in the agriculture sector. Mr. O'Neill says Markham Valley will become the agriculture football in Papua New Guinea, and that is forthcoming with the Umi Growth Center. Sylvester Gawi, National MTV News, Leh.
A new brand of street lights that consumes less electricity has been installed in a number of streets in Port Moresby, starting with the Boroko suburb. This is an initiative of Moresby Northeast MP Labi Amayu to light up the capital city. The lights were purchased under the District Services Improvement Program funds.
The LG LED streetlights are thinner in size, efficient and consume less electricity compared to the previous lights. Electricity supplier PNG Power Limited installed the lights in various streets around Boroko suburb in the nation's capital. Moresby Northeast Electorate is first to roll out this new lighting project. According to Moresby Northeast MP Labi Amayu, these LG Korea-made streetlights were chosen over other brands because of their quality, amount of light produced, and long manufacturer's warranty. This project is crucial and will last for many years to come that will brighten Port Moresby as the country's capital city. It will also help to reduce crime and ensure people walking around the city at night are safe. Studies carried out in other countries shows by increasing number of streetlights in urban and suburban areas, this can help reduce crime and have positive effects on the economy and pedestrians' movement at night. Quinten Alomp, National MTV News.
The autonomous region of Bougainville has been given a rare opportunity by the national government to chart its own development agendas. This special arrangement for referendum will determine Bougainville's future political status, and the public service has been given a key role to drive these changes forward, beginning with the appointment of Chief Secretary to the autonomous Bougainville government, Monovi Amani.
Next 5 years are crucial for Bougainville as it decides its political status. Mr. Amani says this opportunity mustn't be wasted, and the Bougainville Public Service will work closely with the autonomous Bougainville government, speaking as one voice to ensure goals are achieved. Priority 1 will be on people and the opportunity to be equal partners in development agendas and participate in information sharing. Budgets must be driven and guided by well laid out development long-term and medium-term plans to ensure sustainable and tangible economic and social growth. People's aspirations and wishes for development must be captured in the vision, plans and budgets of government. The public service, Mr. Amani said, must be seen to serve responsibly, fairly, equitably, efficient and effective in delivering services to the people. One of the pillars of the Bougainville Constitution is to embark on revenue generation measures. A team to look into the broadening of the revenue base will be set to ensure Bougainville must be self-reliant and cannot forever depend on the national government and aid agencies. Fabian Hakelitz, National MTV News.
Still on Bougainville, the ex-combatants' demand for President-Chief Dr. John Mommis to resign cannot be justified. The president labelled this claim as undemocratic following a letter that was issued questioning his ability to serve the interests of Bougainvilleans. President Mommis said his government has done more in terms of infrastructure development and policies to strengthen Bougainville's political status. You're watching National MTV News. After the break, I'll bring you all the sporting details.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The PNG men's basketball team is in its third day of a week-long training camp in Mackay, Australia. Despite missing out on the Australia Day tournament, the team will compete against an under-23 side, Mackay Meteors, tomorrow. They also have another match on Tuesday next week. The 20-man squad are training under the watchful eyes of Mackay basketball manager and PNG head coach Joel Kalu. The matches are part of the preparations towards the 2015 Pacific Games. Turning overseas now, and after a bumper competition in 2014, the NRL Nines returned to Eden Park in Auckland for a second year. Here are the highlights of day one of competition.
It took less than a minute to show the Nines were fair income.
Cherry Evans got a kick away under some pressure. Maybe it hurt, in fact, as he kicked.
And less than two for the first try of the season.
And it's come up for Tako Regi to score for Parramatta.
Manly looked the winners, but the Eels had more legs.
Lavaka now for the corner. Lavaka.
And they scored a last-gasp win over the Knights later to finish day one 2-0. Benji Marshall promised to dominate amid the razzle-dazzle of Nines, and his ball work had the Dragons on the board.
Nightingale's got it away. Here goes Naburli. Naburli will score.
But by late in the game, the Knights had them slain. Josh Dugan embarrassed by this in and away.
Look at this. Jake Mamo.
Dugan made amends later, finishing off this length of the field team effort in a 25-21 victory which left Manly winless. The Tigers showed off their pre-season gym work in Aussie rules singlets and powered over the top of the Raiders.
Lawrence, back it goes. It came off Canberra.
With a strong side, the Roosters scratched out a last-minute 6-4 win over the Broncos, which had returning coach Wayne Bennett all hot under the collar. The Rabbitohs sent over a few big guns and won there too. And it was the retired Matt King who sealed victory over defending champions, the Cowboys. The Panthers went winless. as did the Bulldogs, who pushed the Roosters to the limit late in the day.
Elliott will go all the way.
Tennis, and Serena Williams is tonight aiming for a 6th Australian Open crown in a blockbuster final against Maria Sharapova. And more history awaits the world's #1, who now ranks among the best of all time.
There are so many champions in the one room, but today tennis royalty gathered for the annual Legends Lunch, where even some of the greats get a little starstruck.
Well, I've got to have a little question with the man, Rocket Rod Laver himself.
Among them, Martina Navratilova, 30 years since her 3rd Australian Open title. Tonight, she's backing Serena Williams to overtake her record of 18 Grand Slams.
There's nothing I can do about it. I would have loved to have played against her in my prime, would have been some fun matches. But it's fun to watch her, and she's a great champion.
The men's decider appears much less clear-cut. The serving of Andy Murray set to be crucial.
If Murray's whole game, his confidence level drops that second ball short, I think that's going to be a telltale in who wins this match.
Novak Djokovic booked his meeting with the Scot last night, despite appearing to struggle physically and mentally against Stan Wawrinka. At one stage, the world #1 didn't even realise he'd won the crucial 3rd set.
The security guards were out on the middle of the court. Novak had no idea.
But even amid some frightening stares for the linesman, Djokovic progressed in 5. Adamant there's no serious concern.
Nothing that will worry me. You know, I'm sure that I'll be fit and ready for finals.
Regardless, his opponent isn't exactly talking up his chances.
He obviously loves the court and the conditions, and yeah, it would be a big upset if I managed to win tomorrow.
And that ends True Kai Sports. The weather details after the break.
True Kai Sports. True Kai Sports.
This weather information is brought to you by Tablebirds.
Taking a look at the weather forecast. In the southern region, Port Moresby cloudy and windy with squally showers and rain. Squally showers and rain for Daru and Kerma, as well as in Alatau and Popondetta. Over to the Momasa region, Lae, you can expect rain and thunderstorms, squally showers for Wewak and Vanimo, and squally showers and rain overnight for Madang. To the New Guinea Islands region, Lorangau and Kavieng, you can expect squally showers and rain expected in Rabaul, Kimbe and Buka. And in the Highlands region, all centres to expect rain. There is a strong wind warning current for all coastal waters of Papua New Guinea. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border through Torres Strait and Daru to Kiwai Island, Kerma, Yule Island, Hood Point, Samarai Island, Eastern and Western Milne Bay Islands, Finchafen and Vitias Strait, CSE Islands to Long Island, seas 2 to 3 meters. Waters of Samarai Island to Cape Vogel, Wasu Point, Finchafen, Manus and its western group of islands, seas 1.5 to 2.5 meters. And waters of Long Island, Madang, Bogia, Wewak, Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border, New Island, New Britain and Bougainville, seas 2.5 to 3 meters. And a look at the ocean forecast for PNG areas. Coral seas rough northwest to southwesterly winds at 25 to 34 knots. Solomon Sea and Bismarck Sea seas moderate to rough northwest to southwesterly winds at 20 to 34 knots. Bismarck Sea seas rough northwest winds at 25 to 34 knots. And Pacific Ocean seas moderate to rough northwesterly winds at 20 to 34 knots. And that's the way it is this Saturday, the 31st of January 2015. On behalf of the National MTV News team, I'm Maribel Tulo. Good night.